Hello, brothers and sisters. This is Father Remi from the Student Lounge. On my back, you can see JP2 shaving in the forest, and Mother Teresa, and Teresa the Little Flower, and a Greek guy on top of the piano. I don't know what he's doing. Okay, let's talk about the gospel. The beauty of this gospel coming Sunday, Matthew 22nd. Again, the Pharisees come for Jesus and ask him tough questions. They're not only angry, they are also fascinated, captivated by the wisdom, by the light of Jesus. His answers are so precise and thoughtful. Now they come and say, Rabbi, teacher, which is the greatest commandment of all in the Torah, in the law? It was catchy, tricky. Why? Because there were 613 commandments and rules for the Jewish. Many rabbinic schools, and all of them have different theories about which one was the most important commandment. Some said it was the Sabbath, keeping the Sabbath. Other people said it was the circumcision, which is like the equivalent for the baptism for us. And Jesus answers, quoting Deuteronomy chapter 6. He goes back to the Torah and says, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. That about the strength is quoted in another gospel, but it's the same concept. And then he keeps on. If we go to Deuteronomy 6, it will extend saying the following. You have to seal or print these in your heart and talk about it and ponder it when you are walking, when you are working, when you are with your children, all the time. Have it as a symbol. Tie it in your hands and your forehead. You know the Jewish had a tradition, like 3 times a day they had to stop and ponder on these. Loving God with all your heart and your soul. What are the key words or the key elements of this passage? Whatever is repeated and is being highlighted by Jesus. So, with all, that's the key element. He's talking about all your humanity, all your human nature, your person and all that you have. Your soul, meaning the core, the center, the inner core, the inner dwelling center that you have in your heart. All your mind, your intellect, your capacity of reflection, your thoughtfulness, your affections, your passions, everything. And as we say in the Mass, let us give thanks to the Lord, and it's right and just to give you thanks always and everywhere. Means every time, anytime, and everywhere. That's the experience of love. Has to be surpassing the limits of time and space. That's the call of God. And if we see like music, if we see movies, how many experiences we can find of the beauty of it, like Elvis Presley saying, take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. Or Pride and Prejudice, this famous novel and movie, I will have to tell you, I love you, I love you, I love you. You have bewitched me, my body and soul, I never wish to be parted from you. Or from Shakespeare in Love, you will never age for me, nor fade, nor die. So what we see is like in the experience of human love, there's a beauty that wants to surpass time and space and wants to surpass the soul. I want to give you my body, my soul, my intellect, my affections, everything. Have you seen like the boyfriends and the girlfriends talking to each other? Sometimes they ask themselves, how much you love me? They never say, I love you 30%, 50, 70. They're always pushing. They always say, I love you without limits. They never say, I love you, but only for 3 months, okay? Or for 1 year. No, because that's not the essence and the nature of love. Love wants to abide, to remain, to extend and push all limits. Okay, so the question is, how can Jesus say that love is a commandment? Because commandment sounds like forcing something, like and prohibition. Sometimes we have a distorted concept of a command. Because Jesus also says, my words are spirit and life, which means these commands are flowing from my heart to your heart. I'm sharing my view of reality, the passion that I have inside. So commandment is something that is communicating for us freedom, life, energy, light. That's the essence. And another point is like we are made in the image and likeness of love. So when we love, we are becoming ourselves. Jesus is sharing with us that power of love. And also always remain, like whenever you feel, some of us sometimes are like defensive, like we don't open ourselves too easily because we have wounds, we have like scars in our souls. But if you insist with details of love, any heart can open. any heart finally ends as, I mean, that's my experience. I don't know if that happens to you. And you end up like opening because of the power of love. And then Jesus goes to the second part, which is love your neighbor as yourself. I remember a quote of Virgil, the great Roman poet, saying, "Begin, baby boy, little child, to know your mother by her smile." How do you know to love others? By how you have been loved. By the smile of your mother, you get to know the love of your mother. By the smile of God, you get to know the love of God. And God is smiling us when Jesus was born in Bethlehem, when Jesus was washing your feet in the Last Supper and handing on you his body and his soul, his divinity. When Jesus was on the cross forgiving you, he was smiling you. When he says that I'm going to be in heaven interceding for you forever, he's smiling at you when he's giving you his mother. It's beautiful. So this loving to others is flowing from the smile of God towards us, from the smile of Jesus, from those details of tenderness and sweetness and depth and energy. Jesus says, love your neighbor as yourself. So the reference is yourself. How do you will people to love you? How do you like people to welcome you when you get to a place? How do you like people to smile to you, to receive you, to listen to you, to pay attention, to remember your name, your experiences? I don't know, to forgive you, to trust in you, to bet for you, to bear with you, to correct you with kindness and patience. How do you like to receive all those details of love? Well, that's the measure. And there's a beautiful symbol I'm going to leave you, which is the cross. Two beams, the vertical beam that connects heaven and earth. That's the quality of this infinite love and tender love that God is giving, pouring in our hearts. And on that vertical beam is supported the horizontal beam, which is the human relationships. If the vertical is permanently open and strong, then on it we can stand, we can put the, like, inspire the horizontal loves, the loving one another. Finally, St. John of the Cross says, at the end of life we shall be examined on love. Love is going to be the test. We know already the questions for the final exam in life. But it's becoming ourselves. That's the commandment. Be yourself, be free, be love. You are made in the image and likeness of love. Become love every day. God bless you, my friends.